Hello, everyone. If you haven't heard already, former President Donald Trump has been convicted in the civil fraud case in New York City by Attorney General Letitia James in the amount of $370 million. I'm going to play for you a couple of videos, and then we're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you my impression, my reaction. And stick around to the end because I'm going to actually share some data that talks extensively and speaks to why I truly believe this is the most dangerous precedent that I've seen on my 50 years on planet Earth, as well as it sets a dangerous precedent for future generations moving forward. Whether you like Trump or not. This is not a kind of a Trump rally video by any stretch of the imagination. As somebody who loves my country more than anything, as somebody who values the freedoms, values the principles, values the values that this country was founded on, this is a most egregious deviation and dereliction of duty, and I'm going to explain all that in just a second. But first, I'm going to play a quick video of what Letitia James, and tell me if this doesn't sound like some type of a run for office. I don't know if I've ever heard a speech after something so, grand and something so apparently vile in the annals of justice. I've never heard somebody take a victory lap like this before. It's very, very interesting. Watch what she's wearing, too. I don't know if that kind of is symbolic. We're going to watch that video. Then we're going to watch Donald Trump's response. Then I'm going to share a video of how mainstream media views this. And then we're going to talk some serious data. I'm going to show you some screenshots. Stick around for that. But let's look at Letitia James right now.
No one is above the law. No matter how rich, powerful, or politically connected you are, everyone must play by the same rules. We have a responsibility to protect the integrity of the marketplace. And for years, Donald Trump engaged in deceptive business practices and tremendous fraud. Donald Trump falsely, knowingly inflated his net worth by billions of dollars to unjustly enrich himself, his family, and to cheat the system. Donald Trump may have authored the art of the deal, but he perfected the art of the steal.
Wow.
This long-running fraud was intentional, egregious, illegal. And he did all of this with the help of the other defendants, his two adult sons.
Another thing I probably should have said really quickly, and I'm gonna share the Trump's reaction, but basically the charges are that Donald Trump inflated the valuation of his assets, which I'm going to share data later that I think demonstrates something really interesting and maybe something that should be investigated, especially in the appeal. In order to get loans from banks at agreeable, negotiable interest rates that favored him and benefited him and somehow cheated the system. Let me just say this really quickly. I am not a real estate expert. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, Nez Nation. I'm by no stretch of the imagination a real estate expert, but my wife and I have bought several homes throughout the years. We have refinanced and renegotiated, gotten loans from banks, mortgages plenty of times, more than I can even count. And what I know to be capital T true, which, I mean, we're not dealing with billions of dollars or multi, hundreds of millions of dollars like this case. There is always a third party, somebody who, it's called an appraisal. It's got to be an independent third party, usually sent by the bank or hired by the bank, who comes and evaluates the property. And if the appraisal is not congruent or does not match, the bank says we can't give you the loan because you evaluated this property higher than it actually is. And that's actually happened before. That's happened many times before. I'm sure it's happened to you. Let me know if that's something that's happened to you. So There is always an independent third party in every aspect. There is always somebody. The government doesn't set the evaluation. I, the homeowner, do not set the evaluation. It is always something, especially after what happened in 2007 and the housing crisis and the collapse, especially after that. Before 2007, I don't know if you guys remember this. I'm a little bit older. Before 2007, you didn't even need to show debt to income ratio. You didn't need to show W-2s. You didn't need to show bank statements, nothing, tax returns, nothing like that. You just basically signed, and it was on good faith if you could make your mortgage payments, and you got your loan. Well, now it's like, we bought our first condo after the collapse. This was back in 2010, and I literally went through, a lot of these gray hairs are due to that, so much paperwork, so much red tape, so much bureaucratic nightmare. At one point, I almost just said, honey, I give up. We're not going to get this place. It's just insane. The amount of red tape that we had to overcome, the amount of hurdles that we had to go through was just astronomical. If you remember what it was like prior to that and post that, you know what I'm talking about. Let me know in the comments. And so do people inflate, do homeowners, property owners, business owners inflate their assets? Absolutely. Is Trump the first person to do that? Absolutely not. Is it happening right now? Absolutely. Does it happen all the time? Capital A, absolutely. So it's interesting to me. There are no victims in this case. There's no victims. I don't know where the $400 million goes. Where does the by the way, if there's no victims, okay, Donald Trump paid back all his loans. He even had people from the bank testify in this case in his defense, okay? There's got to be third-party oversight. There's got to be regulatory oversight and compliance oversight. He did not break the law. What's going on here? What's happening here? Now, I kind of jumped the gun here. I was going to save this for the end, but I'm going to share with you some screenshots. Let's look at Trump's reaction, and then I'm going to share with you the evaluation that this court, this Attorney General, Judge Engoron, who you guys probably all know, what the valuation they gave to Mar-a-Lago, his 160,000 square foot home in Florida, Donald Trump's home in Florida, they gave that evaluation $18 million. We're going to look at some comps, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But let's look at how does Trump respond to this.
But I also knew we have a corrupt judge. He's not a respected man. And again, I said before, he's been overturned on this case by the appellate division 4 times already. It's a record. Nobody's ever been overturned on one case 4 times. And I think very importantly, and I think ultimately the most important, we've employed tens of thousands of people in New York, and we've paid taxes like few other people have ever paid in New York, and they don't care about that. It's a state that's going bust. It's a state that's going bust because everybody's leaving, and it's all headed up by Biden, who's destroying our country. So this is Russia, this is China, this is what you've been reading about all your lives, and it's happening right here in our country. Thank you very much. We will stop it. We will make America great again. You have my word. Thank you very much.
I mean, he's not entirely wrong. It's hard to argue with that because, we're seeing the same thing here in California. Businesses are leaving by the thousands. Corporations are leaving by the thousands. Residents are leaving by the millions. The largest deficit of any state in the entire United States of America, $68 billion deficit. Homelessness, millions and millions of dollars spent on homelessness. And literally, it's gotten rampantly worse, abundantly worse in the past 4 or 5 years. This is happening in New York City as well. People are leaving. Businesses are leaving. So where are you going to get your revenue from? You can't get your revenue by weaponizing the justice system and going after business owners and charging them with things that every other legal entity exercises in their business practices. It's really, really most egregiously apparent what is actually going on. Check out how mainstream media reacted to this. This, to me, is extremely telling. I want to get your thoughts on this. Check this out.
Is this not only just, obviously, Major pointed out, successful, but in your opinion, in your eyes, is this good for her?
This is a huge win for Letitia James. You have to remember she is the one who, in fact, absolutely got this started, that she is the person who, as I said on the day that this was filed, she dared, absolutely dared, the district attorney in New York, Alvin Bragg, to go forward with a prosecution, which he had declined to do. And so she wins. Anybody who says, well, she didn't get it all, she got so much of it all, she is definitely going to be someone who can celebrate tonight.
This is a big win for Letitia James? I thought this was a big win for justice. She may not have gotten it all, but she got a lot? It's interesting. Again, you know, this channel, we look at Aristotle's rhetorical principles, 2,000 years old. Why, Nez? Because ethos, pathos, logos, audience, purpose, message, to me is the most truthful lens to look at these messages and these communications, which to me, the pen truly is more mightier than the sword. Misinformation, deceit, true misinformation, I should say, deceit, lies, conveying blatant untruths, masking them as justified truths, is the most dangerous thing for our country, for our republic. People are actually believing mainstream media. People are actually believing everything that these people say. There's a lot of people casting their vote based on this unbelievable, hypocritical branding and messaging. So the truth is the truth, and Aristotle's principles go back 2,000 years. This is a big win for Letitia James. This is a big win for her. She didn't get, I mean, listen to the language. I thought this was a big win for justice. I thought this was a big win for New York, for the American public, for the taxpayer. But no, it's a big win. And if you listen, if you go back, I go back to that video where I shared of Letitia James. He perfected the art of the steal. It is most agreeable. I mean, she sounds like she's running for office. She doesn't sound like an attorney general who's just doing a press conference and conveying, what are the parameters, what are the stipulations, what just happened and how and why. She doesn't sound like somebody who's doing that. It's very, very interesting. Okay, so now I want to share for you, this whole entire case hinges on the fact that Donald Trump, in Letitia James's own words, former President Donald Trump inflated his assets, which basically means that he lied about the valuation of his assets in order to take advantage of the financial system and get better loans and better interest rates from the banks. Their valuation, okay, the government, New York City Attorney General's office, their valuation of his home in Mar-a-Lago was $18 million. I'm going to share with you screenshots of comps in that area that his 62,000 square foot home in Mar-a-Lago, Florida. We're going to look at comps, and I'll tell you why I'm going to look at comps. But real quick fact, the most expensive home in America was just listed for $295 million, which is a record in the U.S. It's a 24,000 square foot property. Where? In Florida. Mar-a-Lago is, so that's 24,000 square foot. More than almost 3 times the size of that is Trump's Mar-a-Lago residence at 62,000 square feet. And Judge Engoron and Letitia James said it's only worth $18 million. Where is the logic in that? What am I missing here? Where is the sense in this? Now, again, I'm not a real estate expert, but I know, okay, that valuation is always assessed and analyzed based on external, not the homeowner, not the government, external third-party marketplace metrics and data. The appraisal and the comps. What are comps? Homes in the related area, what they sold for, what their valuation for, what was the last time they were listed, and when was the last time they closed escrow, and at what price. That's what they call comps. You ask any real estate agent, you ask any broker, basing a home's evaluation is highly contingent, if not completely contingent, on the comparable homes in that designated region and area. Very, very small radius, by the way. I mean, right in the neighborhood. So check this out. If you look right here, you're going to see that the comps in that area for that type of lot size are this is directly from Zillow. You can look this up yourself. $200 million. The one in the green, if you look at the green, the beachfront property in that same exact area, this lot in Palm Beach, okay, 2.32 acre lot, is just a lot, not even a home. The Zestimate on Zillow is $200 million. Now look at this. Here's another. Okay, here's another one. This is just a lot for sale that is comparable to Mar-a-Lago, $150 million. Okay? So, we got another one that's not even close to how expensive President Trump's mansion is for $55 million. Where does the $18 million valuation come from? How did you come up with that? You could see in some of the surrounding areas, there was nothing even near $18 million. I think the lowest was something like $45 or $35 million. Look all of this up. I always implore you to do your own research. Nez, why are you talking about this? Why are you bringing this up? Because it sets a dangerous precedent for not just rich people who are like you think are living in the clouds, for everybody, that all banks require third-party evaluation. All banks require an appraisal to make sure that you are not, quote unquote, inflating the valuation of your property in order to get a better loan. All banks require this. Donald Trump did the exact same thing, but their valuation is not just, it's not just a little off. It's not even just medium off. It is extra supersized, large, galactically off. It's not even close to what that property is worth. So it sets the precedent that anybody, any government entity, can claim that you are committing fraud, charge you, and basically put you out of business for doing nothing wrong. What am I missing? Am I missing something? Let me know in the comments. What am I missing? Very dangerous precedent. And by the way, businesses are fed up in New York City. Businesses are fed up in New York. Check this out. Here's a bonus. The governor of New York, I'm going to share something with you what the governor of New York said about what happened with Trump. Before I do, just really quickly, again, this sets an alarm. Every homeowner, every property owner, every American should be extremely, extremely upset and alarmed by this. It has nothing to do with liking Trump. It has nothing to do with hating Trump. It has nothing to do with Republican, Democrat, blue, right, left, red, whatever. Blue pill, red pill, has nothing to do with that. This is just looking at the facts, the actual data. And this is dangerous. This is extremely dangerous. Aspiring, it also sets my kids, my kids are, my kids' generation. What's it say to them? You work your butt off, blood, sweat, and tears. You reach a height of success. And if you don't align with governmental or establishment views, both politically, socially, what have you, you're going to be taken out. You're going to be taken out. You're going to be bankrupted by the system because you don't align and you don't agree with the establishment's political views. That's what this is the precedent that's being set here. And the more they throw everything in the kitchen sink at this guy, what's happening? People are waking up. That's the purpose of this channel. The purpose of this channel. I'm risking a ton. My wife is not happy with me. Okay, I've got businesses. I was happy. I was comfortable. But I love my country. I can't take this anymore. I have to bring this up. I have to talk about this. We have to talk about it. This is how we fight back. Leaving comments, you guys sharing these videos, watching these videos. This is how we fight back. It's got nothing to do with blue right. It has to do with loving our beautiful, amazing United States of America country and the founding documents, the founding fathers, the founding principles, the 10 Commandments, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. These are ironclad documents, time immemorial. They will not rust. They shall not rust, but they can be corrupted. And this is a dereliction of duty. This is a absolute rebuke to their oath that they signed off on, that they actually ascribed to. This is a deviation, a dereliction of their oath of office to uphold the Constitution. This is not constitutional, one iota. To even prove, I think, even more, this is very, very telling. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. To even show more that this is something that is a complete political witch hunt, and it's a weaponization of the justice system, and it has nothing to do with actual law and order. Listen to what Governor of New York, I want to say her name right, Governor of New York, Kathy Hochul. Listen to this. Governor Kathy Hochul tells New York businesses not to fear about Trump verdict. Nothing to worry about. I think this is really, listen to this, watch this. I think this is really so unbelievable that they're coming out with this. I think that this is really an extraordinary, unusual circumstance that the law-abiding and rule-following New Yorkers who are business people have nothing to worry about because they're different than Donald Trump and his behavior. Governor Hochul responded. Excuse me? So in other words, you don't have to worry about if your name is not Donald Trump and you conduct business in New York City, if you're not running for president, if you're not aiming to uproot the establishment and drain the swamp and actually fight for America, don't worry about it. You'll be fine. We're just going after him. Isn't that just an admission of that? That's an admission of that, is it not? Again, what am I missing? I'm happy to be wrong. Prove me wrong in the comments. I respond to all the comments personally. At least I try very, very hard to. There's sometimes too many and I can't get to all of them. I apologize. But I try my hardest. This sets a dangerous precedent. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you guys think? The more we raise awareness, as I said, the better we can fight back. That is the purpose of my channel. It's to bridge the divide, not to expand the divide. It's not about right-left. It's not about Democrat-Republican. It's not about any of that stuff. This is about coming together, looking at things critically, understanding what is the objective truth so we can make better decisions about our beautiful country moving forward. So I hope you will join us. I hope you will join me and continue to watch these videos, like these videos, share these videos. Make sure if you've made it this far, in the pinned comment is our free, it's absolutely free, our free newsletter. This is your, because they're going to delete this channel. They're going to delete all these channels because all of these platforms are run by, known censors, people who love to censor people like me. But by subscribing to our newsletter, you'll never miss out, and it's absolutely free. We don't share your email. We don't spam. Literally, it's just your way to always be in the know. So make sure you do that. It's in the pinned comment and the description. Sign up. It's absolutely free. Do that below. Make sure you check out these videos right here. These videos are going to take you deeper. They're awesome videos. I think you'll enjoy them immensely. Subscribe and follow down there. Like, comment, and share. As always, God bless the United States of America. God bless you, and I'll see you soon.